ठीक है नहीं मैं ट्राई कर रहा था कि शेड ना करके ट्रिमर से होता नहीं एक लिमिट तक के बाद ना अच्छा तो इस बार फ्लाईओवर के नीचे वाले से नहीं सीधे फ्लाईओवर पे चढ़ेंगे तो वहां से फोन देखा है
मेरे ही बैठ के होगा।
Hey,
Good morning.
good morning, Bruce. How are you?
Good, good. How are you? Free and just one conversation today?
Yes, print is correct. And for you, base is fine.
Yes, actually, fine, perfect. Most people say right. This is actually perfect. Is it morning for you or a bit late rising?
It's 2:30, so afternoon.
How was your day until now?
It's everything fine. You asked about the day, right?
Yes, yeah, how was your day until now?
Yes, it has been fine till now. So currently still working. As
Yes. Price up, right?
yes.
Yes. Okay. I always ask if you recommend to apply to the preferred price up for real hugs.
That will be easy for me.
Sorry?
That will be easy for me.
Yes. I see what price up, right? Actually, about price ups, what I think is like a risk, I think, maybe I'm wrong here, is so if you make a custom season profile, and then in your custom season profile, you have a pricing profile. And in that pricing profile, you define occupancy rate adjustments. And then that's in a group, for example, the group called location X. Then I create a subgroup as well. I have, for example, the group called performance in that subgroup, and I can look for the subgroup think that's a bit annoying. Is that correct or not?
Yes, that is correct. So the okay. So yes, so the setting that you have added to the group and using the season profile, it will have a higher priority compared to the usual execution.
Yeah, I think yeah. And my because I don't find it in a profile my low performing group, so my low performing group should just be like changing occupancy rates. My business in a profile like seasonality makes it oversetting or I keep it. I think they should change it, but that's really like
Different hierarchy. So they would have definitely thought of something, but yes, you can give us a suggestion. Maybe they would.
yeah. But on the other hand, I understand the profile. Okay. Anyway, that's right.
Yes, I kind of like thought that this would be almost like a custom call when I was say handle the client. So it started like that.
Maybe before we start, do you have any questions about the role, about the company, what we expect from you as a review manager?
So it has been quite some time, I'll be honest. I think a couple of months have passed since I applied and then I finally got, yes, then I got an email from the visa side. Oh, yes, sorry. So yes, I was saying that it has been about since then when we then replied and then said that we wanted to discuss with you. So I did also check the role after scheduling a call with you. So I have a fair idea, but if you want to discuss maybe something that is not mentioned in the JD, that will definitely help. Just briefly.
Just two main things. One is you are the hero to the customer, so you are the account manager for like 5 to 6 to 7 portfolios. And secondly, we also need to like do research on the actual ranking and research management, like what's the difference between pricing management, ranking management, and distribution. By distribution management, you mean what happens if you change your base price versus you add a 55% promotion and maybe, for example, what's the exact difference there? Like invisibility and effect on your prices. I assume that big measurements you probably know most of it. I'm most interested in the case study as well in your ranking answers. Because I do, I mean, if you look at prices, we know what the separate pricing is, right?
Yes.
I think you prepared the case, that you write notes in blog presentation or how you do it.
Okay, so I have mentioned, I have written down notes in it. So I sent it on Saturday. I know Saturday and Sunday would be off for you and you would have only have had one day to check it. So if you want, we can check it together. So it took me some time. Initially I thought that it would be hardly one day, but then when I tried some detail, I definitely took help from one AI tool to get more research. Because definitely it will help me work better, so I do use it when I'm honest about it. So use it and then frame my thoughts. So it is, I would say, quite detailed. So that is why it took that much time and I could not send it.
Let's go to the pricing recommendation first, and from there, I probably won't follow the structure of the case, because the client meeting also doesn't follow a certain structure. I'll also see how you react to like other questions, new ideas that I propose to you, questions clients can ask.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Yes, so I have a pricing strategy. What would you recommend to change, and why would you change it?
Okay. So as we noticed in the case study that the pricing was, I would say, quite lenient there was a few adjustments where we were slightly lowering the prices if a guest would book a slightly longer stay. So I feel that the discount should be higher because the pricing is always linear. So if you would put it on a graph, it would almost be a straight line but slightly curved lower. But if a guest is coming at a home and they are booking in place of 1 or 2 nights, they are booking maybe 5 or 6 nights, they would expect an incentive. An incentive would be lower prices broadly with the higher incentive. So I recommended that this is my analysis on the pricing. But then I mentioned that we can suggest lowering the prices as you book a longer stay, and also for the number of guests. Earlier it was on a per stay basis. So if one guest more is coming, so we added 40 euros per stay. But I mentioned that instead of stay, we should add the per guest price on a per night basis, but not per stay. So if a guest is coming for 7 nights and one guest is coming for 1 night, both will be paying the same extra charge, which I don't think so is fair for the property owner. They might be able to get more revenue if they charge on a per night basis. So I've suggested these two main changes, which is offering a more length of stay discount, and instead of charging the extra guest fee per stay, to charging it per night.
Yes.
Do you want me to explain further?
Makes sense. Okay, pricing structure makes sense. Because of your revenue management for property, like portfolio, and you have the new pricing strategy in place. And then the first thing that happens is realistic. You get a 1-star review on Airbnb. What is your pricing wise?
Pricing wise, okay. So my first instinct would be to check why exactly 1 star has been given before I make any pricing change, because it is not for sure that it was related to pricing or not. So I'll check the details. Maybe it was something related to amenities or incorrect location, as this is the first booking that we have received. So we need to understand if it is related to value that the guest received or the pricing did not justify the service they received. Then I would check if there was scope, by understanding from the owner, if it was possible to lower the prices for a first few bookings, even if they are breaking even, so that we can get a few good reviews and ratings which can improve the performance, which currently is 1 star to somewhat in the high range of at least 4 or 5.
Do you think it matters for Airbnb? What's the cost of the 1-star review?
I'm sorry, I did not get it.
Do you think it matters to Airbnb what the cost is for the 1-star review? Whether it's like all the travels back or the train station of the log next to my apartment. With regards to, like, for example, your ranking, so I assume you both know that if you get a 1-star review, the ranking will be down a bit.
Yes, sir. So let's see something after that.
Yes. And do you think it matters what type of reasoning is given for 1-star review in Airbnb? And like how much it will drop?
I think the why would matter. So if something, so there can be multiple reasons for which 1-star rating can be given. So if one of those things is which is easily solvable from the owner side, I think in that case Airbnb might be more lenient compared to an issue which might be, say, causing issues with privacy that the customer would prefer, and which is putting bad name of Airbnb. So there might be a difference, but I'm not, I would say 100% or even sure about this.
Okay. Yes. On another note, I also asked about the difference between Superhouse, the guest review score, and the guest favorite. So the review score and guest favorite. How would you rank these three in terms of impact on ranking? Like, what do you think has the biggest boost if you get a good one or you receive the badge on your rank?
So the ranking for me would be first will be the review score, then would be guest favorite, and then would be the super host. So the reason behind this is because review score is directly first impacted by how the customer or guest is feeling about the property. Whenever I open a property, I'll be seeing this first. Definitely guest favorite and guest favorite and super host, they act as a tag and they act as a banner which validates that this host has been doing great work for quite some time. But there are few properties in the market which have just started. So guests are still going to them if they are having a particular rating. If I am a guest and if I am a guest and I see two properties, one has a review score of maybe 4.5 and one has a 4.9 score, even if the 4.5 might be a guest favorite, it is a bit difficult because guest favorite is also connected with how your listing has received ratings in the recent in the last few bookings. But say if there is a situation, I and many of my people who are connected with me, who I frequently talk on a daily basis, maybe guests or customers that I talk with as a part of price labs, I have noticed that people would prefer a 4.9 listing over 4.6 at all times.
No, I agree. Do you know the criteria for a guest favorite? And do you get the guest favorite badge?
So I'm not sure about all the conditions, but one is that the response time. That if the owner is responding to guest queries within 1 day or 1 hour, there are two criteria for the time taken to respond. Then one is the recent few bookings rating.
Yes. I think make you understand that guest favorite is a review score plus additional factors, right?
Yes.
In a big sense. Given that you put such high importance on review score, would you say that guest favorite equals the extremely high review score plus additional factors as parameters that are, confirmed, high response rate, low cancellation rate by the host? Wouldn't guest favorite then be the most impactful? It's already covering the review score, so you already have the review score boost, but also additional factors.
So guest, because if I am searching for a property, I see all the tags. All the tags are represented. So can I just let me try opening the equation and maybe from the UI I can give a better answer.
Very sure. I responded in Dutch, my apologies.
Just give me 1 or 2 minutes. It is taking some time.
I also have a pretty slow computer nowadays. Since I use Cloud, my computer has been slow still a bit.
So guest favorite is a prominent, I would say, banner.
Yeah.
from what I understand, you might be right that guest favorite also has a definite impact on how a guest is viewing a property because it has a prominent banner on the listing icon when you are searching for a location. Uh, but my logic is that the rating is deciding if a person gets favorite or not. Because
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Alright, then maybe on the length of stay question. I think it's the last one in the day, not really sure. But I'm the owner and I propose to have after 1 month a new length of stay of 28 nights and only short-term relax or short-term rentals within 1 month. First, do you think it's impacting renting or liquidity? Secondly, what metrics are you going to track before you say, or what are you going to look at before you say, yeah, that's a good idea?
so, should I answer this by myself or is it okay if I open the case study?
I think I can obligate you, of course.
So, can you, is it okay, can you repeat the question or repeat it again?
It's actually this question. So the first one is like, what's the impact on ranking? When you, for example, go from this short term for 1 year, so like we'll stay of 2 or 1 for 1 year, and you move it to 28 after 1 month. So it's like dynamic, but like, for example, for the vehicle, then it's start, you know, 28 angles, middle angle stay. And so that was the ranking. Secondly, before you implement this, what the metrics, or what criteria you want to check before you say this is a good idea to implement this or not.
So benefits. So benefits, as you mentioned in the question, it was mentioned that it was for only low season, but you did not mention low season. So I'll ignore low season for now. Okay. So if we are talking about the low season, definitely it can have a benefit if one is able to get a booking of that much time because during low season the number of bookings drops significantly in any market during the low season. But if we talk about the drawbacks, there can be some depending on how the data is for that particular market. So I haven't checked particular data for cruises or for Android, but maybe we'll need to check a few data points like market booking window for low months. So if we check that even for low months, maybe the bookings are coming at a period of 40 days or 50 days. But now we have applied this rule that beyond 30 nights, we need to book a property for at least 28 nights. Otherwise, the property is not available. So it will have a significant impact because our property will not show up in any search results because people might be trying to book a 1 or 2 night stay within a window of 40 to 50 nights because this is how the market behaves. But my property will not show up, so it will significantly impact our ranking on Airbnb. First, before ranking, it will affect the visibility because our property will not show up in any results, in any relevant results, and as it is not being visible, it will impact ranking in the near term also. After a few months, Airbnb, even if we are now have come to a booking window which is favorable for our property, it can impact. It can have an impact where our property might not show up even when we are in line with the booking window. So that would be one drawback. Also, and one which I mentioned here would be that suppose you do not get any booking during the 1 month period, but during low months bookings are already low. So what if, again this is kind of related to market booking window, what if all the shorter stays which are usually received in your market for the low season or for any particular month which we are checking, if they are already booked by the time, if we have already reached almost the projected occupancy by before the time we reach of 1 month, then there is a high chance that we might not get booking at all, and it will lead to empty nights, which will hurt our business.
Yes, makes sense. I see you mentioned there as well, services in the end conversion rate. A job here would indicate that the high business is very ranking and amount capture. Let's take this more in detail. First of all, do you think installing this trick like new length of stay after 1 month, even only in low season, will have a negative impact on your ranking visibility? Yes or no?
I think it will.
Yes, okay.
But first, again, I would say that we would need to check this data to be sure about the market, because this can vary for market to market. So this is one thing. If the market booking window for one night stays is less than maybe 20 nights or 50 nights, then this strategy can work. But if it is more than 30 nights, then this will impact our visibility and ranking.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay, you mentioned if you install this metric and you see your ranking drop quite tremendously. What are the things you could do? You have to keep the length of stay to improve your ranking again in your region.
To improve the ranking after we have applied this and it did not work, the first thing would be to remove this strategy of removing the 28.
The only one thing, no matter what, you cannot convince someone, even if the data shows we don't have the length of stay for it, we don't have the market for it, who wants to do it.
Okay. So the main reasons why Airbnb ranking drops or visibility, first ranking drops and then visibility falls. So one of the main reasons is that people are seeing your property. So when I open Airbnb for any particular location, suppose I search for cruises, so I'll see my property listed. But the reason that the ranking drops after some time is that people are not clicking on that property; they are looking at some other property. So the reason why someone might not click on that property could be two. One could be that it is not how the person would prefer to book that property. Maybe the ranking, maybe the rating and guest favorite tags are not there. Maybe the image, the first few images, they are not that there is I apologize for that because I live near the road. Okay. So I was saying that we will check that how it can impact the Airbnb ranking if the ratings and guest favorite tags are not there. So that could be one reason. One could be that the price we are charging could be significantly higher compared to the other properties in the low season. So people are not clicking on that property. So we can check Airbnb insights for that. Then second reason would be that people are finding value. So they click on the property, then they go to a page, but they are not booking it. So maybe they will that period. Maybe we have some complex pricing structure or like the amenities or the amenities or the rooms or bathrooms, everything that we are not like the amenities, etc. So these are a few reasons I think that the ranking would drop because people are not converting. So Airbnb feels that giving a property a prime space on the first page is not a good decision. So they will drop our ranking. So to improve this, I feel that one could be to drop our rates if it is okay with the owner.